Welcome back. Today I have taken out the Comet, a British cruiser tank with a pretty punchy gun. Now, this gun fires APDS, as you can see here. You can also see that this is a full up tier, and it's the battle game mode, my favorite game mode in War Thunder. I also personally really like Vietnam as a map. I think it has a nice bit of everything for any type of player. And the goal of this video is to use a bit of strategy and playing off of teammates who trying to be the person that's in the part of the map where no one else is. I think is probably the best way to put it. To cover flanks and to protect my teammates as best as possible. Tanks like the Comet, especially the British tanks that fire APDS, they are more suited to a defensive role. This tank doesn't have a good reverse gear. I think it's about 2 kilometers an hour, but it is quite fast going forward. It is quicker than most light tanks with a punchier gun, and your turret armor is extremely trolly. You're going to see in this video, I presume I'm going to get hit more than a few times. But we'll see what happens. So, getting into this one, as you can see on the map, I have most of my team going towards Alpha, and if they set up around there, their biggest weakness is going to be the town south of them, or this kind of watered area where I'm in at the moment, the kind of swamp area, I suppose you could probably say it is. So I'm trying to get into a position where I can cover the right-hand side flank, as well as keep a bit of hard cover on my left, and just sit here. We're a pretty low silhouette tank. Most things aren't going to notice us, but when we see anything that has a lot of armor, we have a pretty good depression and an extremely good gun. As you can see there, the reverse is pitiful. So we also have neutral steer. I should mention that as well. Something that is never talked about with these World War II vehicles. If you have neutral steer, it makes a big difference. Just in the ability to turn around quickly. As you can see, able to rotate the tank around without much effort. Now, I noticed one of my teammates gets into a bit of contact up on the north side, so I want to try to help the two teammates that are up here to get a foothold. And at least then I don't really have to worry about my right hand side flank too much. And I can focus on supporting my teammates that are south of me. So we're going to start inching our way up here. Just being very careful. We don't actually know what is around here. We want to make sure that we're always in the middle of a lot of terrain, so it's harder for us to be spotted also. We've lost another one of our teammates. We only have one left, so now I'm a bit more interested in moving quickly. We have a teammate that's been spotted here. Or an enemy, I should say. And down goes the prototype Panther. Just listening to try and see if there's more. My teammate has died, and it wasn't by this Panther, so there is someone else here. Just being smart. He probably knows where I am, and I know roughly where he is, so I'm waiting for him to make the move. And while I'm waiting, I'm making sure that my rear is covered by teammates, and I have 3 teammates moving up, so I know the tank can't be behind me. I know he has to be where my gun is pointed somewhere, or where I'm driving. So with 2 teammates pushing up that side, I'm going to try and get around the backside of this tank, and at the same time just look in this general area to see what's going on. Now, one of my teammates has died again, so gun pointed the direction that that person has lost their vehicle, and start moving in to try and pin down where this guy is. We can't let this guy keep killing all of my teammates. Otherwise, we'll end up losing this game. My other fear has become realized by the looks of it. The town on the south side seems to be very much a problem for our team. We have a few teammates that are in the first little part of that little town, and it seems that there's enemies all along it. It isn't too much of a concern at the moment, though. We have a teammate that's pushing onto the enemy objective, and we still have a pretty good push, a pretty good amount of friendlies in and around our cap. Really trying to narrow down where this guy is. I'm trying to work with the heavy tank, but I'm not really sure if he knows where the guy is. I would presume that he does because the teammate has died right next to him. There he is. He's down. Another Panther. And if this isn't enough of a reason to go and play in the headspace of your teammates aren't useless and you can use them to work with you. Bit unfortunate to only blacken his ammo. But we're able to take out his gunner, hopefully. Really desperately trying to do something to this guy. And there's the reason I wasn't taking the shot with the main gun is in case there is someone around. Decided to go against it. Sable just goes straight through lightly armored vehicles. Most of the time it does absolutely nothing to them. Hence why I wasn't trying to use my main gun there. It's just... I'm a bit aware now that I've been hit by that SPAA, and if there is anything in front of me, it knows where I am roughly, so trying to just get into a little bit of a divot here. And just wait. Here, if I see if I can hear anything coming, push up a little bit, listen again, push up a little bit more. A lot of the time in War Thunder, what you want to be doing is making sure that you live longer than other people, so that then you have enemies that push past you, you get into very favorable positions, and you can really start controlling a game. It's also quite nice at the end of a match if you have 8 or 10 kills and no death. Just another side to it. It's just moving up more. I'm pretty confident that there is no more enemies in and around the area that I'm in. We have lost most of the teammates down the south side, but we have protected our north flank, so you know it's a bit tit for tat at the moment. Now I'm more focused in defending our objective than capturing the enemy one. So I'm going to start moving towards trying to see what's on Alpha. Again, making sure I'm on the lowest part of land available to me to make it less likely for me to be spotted, hit by SPAA, noticed by whatever enemy vehicle I'm coming up towards. And again, trying to come in at a different angle to all my other teammates. You can see I'm the only one in this kind of area. I have teammates to my left, I have a teammate to my right who's just after dying, unfortunately. And just waiting, trying to see if one of my other teammates gets into contact. Nothing happening yet. And again, very aware that trying to cap that objective is a bad idea for me because I have very little armor and I'd be putting myself on top of a plateau basically where all the enemies are going to be able to see me. So I want to stay in these lower areas if I can. stay a bit undetected, open up a different firing solution so that I can cover the teammate that's on the cap while also getting myself more kills. We are starting to run into the later stages of the battle mode, which is, in my opinion, my favorite part of War Thunder, when it's, it could be 5v3, it could be a 5v5, 2v2, when you really start getting into the more difficult stages of battle, when it comes into more about how much ammo you have or where you're placing your vehicle. And we're having a really hard time trying to take on this M6. Usually these things pop, as you've seen in multiple of my videos before. These things pop on the first shot. If you're not hitting ammo with the APDS, you might as well forget about it. Eventually we do get a shot on the driver. It's just overlooking the area, trying to see if anyone's pushing up. I get a mark from one of my teammates. Going to RT that area, as we're getting RT'd ourselves. It's going to take an opportunity to just create a bigger distance. If what I'm firing against doesn't have a particularly great gun, or actually something's pushing me here, so turn off the engine. Somehow this guy knew exactly where I was. I must be spotted. Unfortunately, my shot took out his gunner, so... or loader. And thankfully to him dying right there, it's given me a nice bit of cover. We're not going to use it though, we're going to keep moving. I'm very aware now that I must be spotted. So I want to move from the position I was in. I want to keep moving, keep making it hard to pin me down. Try and get into more favorable firing positions for myself in case something does push me. So these positions are pretty good for the Comet, where you have a little bit of ground, where something pushing you is going to have a harder time to get a shot off on you first, compared to you getting a shot off on them. Pretty confident I must not be spotted anymore. And I do notice something there. Little Swedish vehicle. Unfortunately, he's not going to be lasting too much longer. I wish. Just can't seem to... just not getting the kill shot. There we go, finally. And it is oftentimes like that. If anyone does play Britain, you know exactly the pain and suffering that those situations cause you. Just constantly shooting in different spots to try and kill off crew members or detonate ammo, and your rounds are just going straight through and you can't do anything about it. To anyone that doesn't play Britain, by the way, vehicles like the Comet, I know they're in like Sweden and other nations as well, but like the Comet, the Conqueror, Chieftains, ironic with my name, anything that's firing APDS in the British tree, really worth giving it a go. All the Centurions, fantastic tanks. It's really one of the best trees in the game. In my opinion, it's Britain and Italy are probably two of my favorites. They're just fantastic. I would really recommend them. And we're really trying to clear up the remaining forces here. Our round just goes straight through again. Thinking about it now, I probably would go for an engine shot there. But I am also pretty worried that an SPAA could do a lot of damage to me. At the end of the day, I don't have that much armor. I have pretty good turret armor, as I said at the start. A lot of times you will bounce around when someone tries to go through your mantlet. Just being very weary here now. That SPAA is behind there where my gun is pointing. But just in case there is someone else around. I do have, I presume it might be an IS-2 or something there. So we take out the gun on that SPAA. We're going to move on that. We can't let him get his gun back. Again, very aware how dangerous a vehicle like that could be to me or someone else if they get around on the flank. And very fortunately, he put himself in a very bad position. Just can't take out the crew members. Again, showing how good the depression is on this vehicle. And don't worry, you thought that depression was good. Try playing the vehicle for a little while, you'll get depression too. Now pushing up. Trying to wrap around the side now to try and clear up all the enemies that are more focused on the teammate that they just killed, pushing Alpha or Bravo. And knowing I have a teammate with me is just going to let me feel like I can push even harder. Just watching that right-hand side. We'll try and work with this heavy tank if we can. I am quite a bit faster than it, as you can see. I'm really putting distance on him, and that's not a bad thing. I like situations like this because this is going to allow me to push up, shoot at something. If I can't kill it, I pop smoke, I turn around, and the thing that comes through the smoke when they're expecting me is going to be a heavy tank. And oftentimes that really throws off enemies. I would always say that if you can't deal with an enemy, definitely try and use your teammates who might have more armor or a bigger gun to your advantage. Or more so to your enemy's disadvantage. That's a problem. And there we go. Bouncing around straight off my turret. And I have no ammo left. This is unfortunate. I'm going to try and run. I'm a bit lucky that I have a lot of rock cover here. And I have an awful lot of smokes. So we're just going to smoke up everywhere. And we're just going to run away. I'm going to have to go all the way back to my friendly cap, which is quite a trek. But it's what needs to happen. So just while we're pushing back, we can see that we have a couple of teammates that are in a pretty good position. It's a bit unfortunate. My teammates don't know that I have no ammo and I am running away. But I also took the attention of 2 Panthers. So the likelihood of my teammates killing them and then getting onto the cap is pretty high. We just had an enemy get killed over towards our objective. Dead? Maybe not dead. Now we're just beelining it now. I know that I'm on a bit of time pressure here because I have teammates that are on the cap and I am not there to support them. But at the same time, this is going to give me a really good opportunity to get into a different firing opportunity to support my teammates again. We're only going to take a couple of rounds here. And this late in the game, it's a very good opportunity for me to use the range of the Comet, the ability to shoot from range on tanks like Tigers or Panthers, where I can easily go through any piece of their armor. We just lose a tank just next to us. So something is looking this way. I need to try and find it. I'm just trying to provide a little bit of range support for my teammates that are on the cap. Fortunately, not a great shot there. On the, I believe it's an M6 again. Yep, an M6. Very luckily dodged around there, and it looked like another one bounced off my side armor. For any new players coming in, that angle that I was driving at, just diagonal to where my enemy is, will get you bounces an awful lot of the time. It's definitely worth doing. It'll take you longer getting to where you want to go, sure, but it will keep you alive a lot of the time, especially in things like KV1s, Tigers, both Tigers, by the way, not just the Tiger H1, which we are firing at, funnily enough, who's just destroyed my cover. Thank you. And down he goes. That front plate against Sable doesn't stand a chance. That thing is honestly scary, but thank God he can't aim. And there he goes straight through my turret. Unfortunately, that was going to end up happening. I was putting myself in too much of a dangerous situation. I'm trying to keep them off the cap as much as possible. I'm very aware that I have teammates that are pushing up and trying to waste the enemy's time, keep them in bad positions, and make their life more difficult. That Tiger knows exactly where I am. That's not ideal. So I might take an opportunity here to try and move if the, or maybe just straight up kill him. Just so unlucky not to get the shot that I want there. If you end up playing the Comet or something else, the Charioteer maybe, the Challenger Mark 1. If you're shooting at something like a Tiger H1, just shoot its shoulder on the right hand side where the little bit of ammo is kept on that shoulder. It'll pop every single time. That was a bad shot from me. Looking at it now, I thought that I could do the same thing as the Tiger I killed before. Don't take shots that might not kill every single time. If you want to genuinely be a very good player at this game, go for the kill shot every single time. If you bounce, you bounce, but if you kill, you're killing more often. We are going to be a little bit sneaky here. That Tiger probably does not know that I've moved up this close. And this poor guy definitely doesn't know we did. I'm trying to figure out where the M6 is as well. So I know there's a Tiger, I know there's an M6A1. It's just where they are. The Tiger's somewhere around the right-hand side. He's probably going to end up pushing. I'm a bit concerned that I have a very long reload now. Just trying to move to open up the angle again. I'm trying to use the fire coming off the poor ISU in front of me to my advantage to hopefully make the Tiger not realize that there's another tank right behind it. Whether that works or not, I don't know. At the very least, I'm hoping that my teammates start moving up with me. I have the teammate on the other side, the little blue guy, and I've just realized the Tiger is going to push, so I'm going to pull away and hope he overextends, which he does. Very lucky that the AA over there had enough penetration to deal with them. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you liked it, thumbs up. Didn't, thumbs down. Subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one.